Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody want the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. I wasn't singing that song because of this movie. That was literally my Chip and Dale's audition. Let's hope I get the job.
I'm just your friendly neighborhood horror freak.
The End of Oak Street is a new dinosaur film that finally does not have the words Jurassic, Park, or World in the title. This film was directed by David Robert Mitchell, the same guy who also wrote and directed the movie It Follows, which, you know, was that horror film that had like a deep message on not having unprotected sex, which that movie definitely didn't change my mind. I mean, I'll take being followed by the creepy people all day. I can't give that... Okay, moving on. And in this film, we follow Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor as a married couple in the 80s, and they have 2 children, and they are living a very simple, quiet life in their little suburban neighborhood until one night they wake up the next day and find out that their neighborhood has been transported to the dinosaur era, and now it is up to them to survive and hopefully figure out exactly how to get back to their original timeline. So I was really excited for this movie to come out. I am a automatic sucker when it comes to dinosaur films. Of course, the original Jurassic Park, I mean, Theodore Rex, We're Back, The Dinosaur Story, or whatever that's called, Barney's Great Adventure, or whatever the fuck that's called too, I don't know. I mean, The Land Before Time, it goes on, man. I love dinosaur films, so of course I was really excited for this, and I was also a little bit worried because unfortunately, the greatest dinosaur film of all time was already done by Spielberg back in '93, the same way how the only good shark movie was directed back in 1975, also by Spielberg. The only other good shark movie to come after Jaws is Deep Blue Sea. But when it comes to dinosaur films, we haven't really got that one yet, and I am very proud to say that The End of Oak Street is probably the best dinosaur film since the first Jurassic Park movie. But is that saying much? So if you guys want to hear all of my thoughts on The End of Oak Street, then dim the lights, grab a bag of popcorn, and let's see if this movie definitely walked the dinosaur or gave us one big pile of shit. Starting off with my positives with this movie, I really liked the concept of this movie. The idea of a typical suburban family that is having to fend off against dinosaurs. They treat it almost as if it's like a zombie apocalypse film, but instead of zombies, we get dinosaurs. And it's just a really fun concept. This is truly the perfect blockbuster film to take the entire family to see. Kids can enjoy it, teens can enjoy it, and adults can enjoy it. I can even see senior citizens really enjoying this movie. It's a movie that really gives everything for everyone, and it's overall just a really fun movie. I also really love the dinosaurs in this movie. I love the fact that they do not just do the cliche T-Rex, Triceratops, or Brontosaurus. They actually do something very unique where they take a lot of the more obscure dinosaurs that you never really have seen in the Jurassic Park movies or any other type of dinosaur films. They really do a good job, and I also love the fact that they go for a more scientifically accurate version of dinosaurs, where scientists have kind of concluded that a lot of them might have actually been covered in feathers rather than big, leathery, lizard-type skin. The velociraptors in this film look very different than the Spielberg version of velociraptors that we've seen in Jurassic Park, and the dinosaurs in this movie are really cool, and they actually do feel like a legit threat. This is the scariest I've ever seen dinosaurs since the first Jurassic Park movie. I mean, there is one sequence in total where Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor are trying to drive around these prehistoric-looking turtles, and there's this big giant dinosaur that starts to stalk them, and that was one of my favorite sequences in the entire film. This movie overall is just really fun. Again, I said that already, but this is overall just a really fun movie. It's got a lot of great sequences. It's never boring. It's a movie that knows exactly what it is, and it sticks with it from beginning to end, and I really loved it for that. I also really liked the characters in this movie. I think Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway do a very good job in this movie. Anne Hathaway in particular, I really love in this movie. This has also just really been her year. 2026 has been awesome for her with all the movies that she's been doing, and this actually might be one of my favorite performances from her. And I know she has been better in many other films, and comparing this to a lot of the Oscar-worthy type of performance that she's given, I really do like her in this movie. She's not the typical suburban mom that just kind of sits in the back and is always just worrying and usually does what the dad says. They kind of reverse the roles where she's kind of like the badass survivor type, and she's the one that's kind of having to coach Ewan McGregor. And I really liked their dynamic in this movie because early on we find out that they're not really happy in their marriage anymore, and it seems like that they might be at a divorce at this point. So being able to see these two characters that are kind of really falling apart and having to see them team up to kind of rebuild their love again was something I really appreciated. It kind of reminded me of Kate Beckinsale and Luke Evans in No Vacancy, where in that movie they were kind of at the edge of having a divorce and they got put in a really shitty situation where they kind of have to team up together and try to survive. And I really liked it. I really loved Ewan McGregor in this movie. Unfortunately, no matter what, he just can never pull off a good American accent, but it's Ewan McGregor. I don't give a fuck, and I really liked him in this movie. I thought he was really funny. The score for this movie is also really good. It's done by Michael Giacchino, who is one of the most underrated composers ever, in my personal opinion. I don't think he gets enough praise. When you think of the best composers, people automatically think John Williams, Hans Zimmer, but Michael is just really great. I especially love whenever he works with J.J. Abrams, especially his score in Super 8, which I fucking love Super 8. I mean, I could talk about that movie for hours, but I don't want to get off topic. But yeah, this was just a really damn good score. And this movie was also produced by J.J. Abrams as well. And it definitely has that J.J. Abrams, Steven Spielberg kind of feel, because as we know, J.J. Abrams does like to pay a lot of homage to Spielberg, especially with Super 8. And this definitely does feel like a movie that Spielberg would have done probably in the 90s or 2000s. And John Williams most likely, probably, absolutely would have done the score for this movie, and Tom Hanks probably would have played the father, and I could definitely see Spielberg doing a movie like this, but I really, really loved this movie. I mean, there's not really too many negatives I have with this film, but kind of getting to my mix aspect now, I will say that this movie definitely, there was a missed opportunity to add maybe an extra 15, maybe even extra 20 minutes to this movie to go a little bit
Today, Junior!
This movie definitely does feel like it was on the cutting room table a couple of times, because I do feel like that there probably was a good chunk of this movie that was cut out to kind of give it a simple 90-minute runtime, so that way it's completely contained. And I understand that, you know, most studios don't really want to make too many longer movies anymore. I have to learn that personally because my most recent film was 2 hours and 40 minutes. But I feel like for this movie, it really could have benefited from an extra 15-20 minutes, because there were a lot of little subplots that were kind of happening that would just kind of go away, and it didn't really feel like there was much of a, you know, actual conclusion. We find out earlier in the film that the son in this movie got into a fight with the kid, broke the kid's arm, and now the kid's brother wants to beat him up. At one point we see him following the kid on their bikes, almost kind of like it's a Stranger Things or E.T. kind of thing. And then later on, after the family is transported, the same bully finds this kid and starts beating him up, and I kept wondering, do these kids not know that they're in a dinosaur area, or does that not matter and he just wants to beat up this kid? And that storyline just kind of really went nowhere. I don't really know what the whole point of that was. It just kind of felt pointless. It almost just kind of felt like that since this is like an Amblin type of movie, they almost felt the need to add all of those things that we've seen in other movies like this, and I don't really think it was needed. And while I'm somebody that is totally fine with not really having much of an explanation in a movie, just to let the movie move on without people having to stop to figure it out, when you look at a movie like Tremors, there's even a point where one of the characters goes, "Who gives a fuck where these giant worms come? We just need to figure out how to survive." This movie didn't really need an explanation. There's this scene where the family sits down and they're trying to come up with theories on how this might have happened, and I feel like that was something that we really didn't need, because it almost felt like they were really trying to give an explanation on exactly how this happened, and I don't really think it was needed. I feel like in a situation like this, it's not really about we need to figure out how this happened. It's more like we need to figure out how to survive, and we need to figure out if we can get back to our own timeline. So it was something that, again, I don't really feel like it was needed, but it wasn't anything like suffering to the point where it just felt like a huge filler scene. It does go by quick, but I also, again, think it just, again, was not needed. And as far as negatives go, I wouldn't really say I had a lot of hard negatives. Most of them are just things that I can kind of put in my mixed aspect, like just little tiny nitpicks, like, oh, there's one, oh, I got a little tiny one right here, let's put it right there. The one negative slash nitpick I would say, because I understand why they do it in these kind of movies to add more tension, is there are two scenes where these dinosaurs are coming very close to the humans, and for some reason they never notice them, or they don't notice that they're there until it's very close to being too late. And that I thought was just really stupid, honestly. I mean, there's literally a scene where the family is talking and they see like this giant dinosaur that's running towards them, and I feel like, would they not notice like the tremors that are happening from that dinosaur stomping really hard, and they don't notice it's there until they just turn to the side? I thought that was really weird. There's also this one sequence, which it was actually a very suspenseful sequence, but it's where this like kind of giant snake type dinosaur is going through the family's house, and for some reason, I guess it's just so quiet that they don't even notice it or even sense it in a way. By coincidence, they just so happen to not be looking that direction, and I thought it was complete bullshit. But again, I understand they do it for suspense, but even to the point where the dinosaur is right next to a character, like literally you turn around and they're literally just face to face with you, they don't notice it, they don't sense it, they don't even pay attention. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was really dumb, but again, it's a movie about people going into a alternate world where dinosaurs are roaming their neighborhoods, so I guess all logic is off the tables at that point. And again, since this movie is cut a certain way where it does feel like a lot was cut out, it does feel a little bit too safe in a sense. And when I say that, I don't mean this movie feels sanitized, because they do make very good use of the PG-13 rating. It is a very hard PG-13, but it definitely did feel like a very simple movie where I was thinking, this is good, but I don't really feel much of an impact going on until something happened where I don't want to spoil it, but when I saw that specific scene, I immediately thought of the clip from SpongeBob where you hear the character go, "My leg!" I heard that in my head when I was watching that, and then something happens immediately after. And when I saw that, I was like, whoa, this fucking got dark. Like, holy shit, this movie got dark. And then as the film kind of goes on, the ending does come a little bit too quick. Like, it felt like that they were just kind of like, okay, we got all the crazy fun stuff out of the way, now let's just get the ending over with, and we won't really go too much into it. Let's just end it, have a happy ending, and let it be like that. At the same time, for me, I was going back and forth where I'm like, I felt like that was done too quickly, but I still am happy with the ending. I still think it was a very satisfying ending, but it's also one of those things where I kind of felt a little, like, underwhelmed, if you know what I mean. It's kind of equivalent to riding a very fun roller coaster, where it's really fun when you ride it, but then when you look back and go, oh man, that roller coaster was only, like, 30 seconds long. You kind of go, man, I kind of wish that would have been longer. That's kind of what this movie feels like. It's overall a very fun experience, but it does feel a little bit short-lived, and I really do wish they would have done more with it. So to end this review off with a quote, I'll say, The End of Oak Street is a very fun summer blockbuster to take the entire family to the theaters. Although they could have gone much more deeper and expanded more with the story, I think this is a very fun movie that pays a lot of homage to early Spielberg films, and it's such a blast from start to finish. So anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on The End of Oak Street. Did you guys see this movie? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you think this is the best dinosaur film since Jurassic Park? Or do you think that this is a movie that is just kind of okay and it doesn't really do anything new or creative? Please let me know all your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Look forward to more videos coming soon, and I'll see you guys next time in your neighborhood.
I'm just your friendly